Hey, it's Howard from Catalinbread, and welcome to today's video. We're featuring, again, the Formula No.55, our newest foundation overdrive based on the 5v3 Tweed Deluxe. And that was Neil Young on the high gain red mode. But first, before we get into it, thanks for watching last week's video. And some of you had caught some mic clipping on the audio and busted. I was just testing your ears, and I can tell you that your ears are working fine. You heard the mic clipping. And so what was going on last week was we were over here, and I had the mics plugged into this Universal Audio 2610 preamp. You guys probably have heard of it. Anyway, it's not a demo for the preamp. Last week was a demo for the preamp, and it didn't quite do the shootout too well. It was clipping. It's got tubes in it, and it sounds great sometimes. Other times it just can clip, and it gets away from me. Anyway, today we're going into the Apollo interface here, and I'm using the built-in preamps, and you know what? They're really clear and transparent. You kind of know what you're getting, and they have a lot of headroom, so no worries, hopefully, with the clipping. And what we got going on here, we're using two channels, and we got two rare R121s on the amp. Far one up there, as you see, and a close one. The close one's on the left side-ish of your headphones, and the far one's on the right side. And we're going to my custom Iberlex reverb. We've got a Celestion Alnico Gold on the left side, and a Celestion Vintage 10 on the right side. And my guitar is my trusty Gibson Custom Shop 67 Flying V, and I got Lawler Imperials on it here. I'm using my gold Herkel 66 pick, my favorite pick. I've had this since NAMM and before NAMM. You ever try to hold on to a pick, see how long you can hold on to it? Well, this is going on a few months now. And let's see, I'm going to finish my gear rundown here with you. So strings are 9 through 40 D'Addario NYXLs. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm going to play one more little jam out on that setting because I'm kind of liking how it sounds today. So let's do that. We'll get back to some more talky talk and knobby knobs. Okay, so let's get into here and turn some knobs and press some buttons and play some riffs, shall we? So once again, here's the direct, clean amp sound. And so we got the low gain mode now, green mode, because if you go to high gain mode, the LED turns to red. So in green mode, if you set kind of like that on the volume and the tone, 2 o'clock-ish, and noonish on the presence and master. You kind of adjust everything to fit. This is a great basic setting for the Formula No.55, especially if we're going to use other pedals and stack into it, especially other gain or fuzz pedals. That way you get a sound here that's not too much gain and can really build from your gain palette. So set like this, you can do this type of strummy strum stuff. So that's great for that Neil Young kind of strum thing where it's definitely not clean, but it's the right kind of dirty where you can just strum through it. And you can turn your guitar down and clean up from that. So you get a really wide range just from your guitar volume knob. And you can go to neck pickup and get a little more bluesy kind of thing. And get all your cleanup as well. So that's a good setting there, but let's go ahead and turn some knobs here now. So the tone knob on the Formula No.55 is exactly like as it's wired up in the Tweed Deluxe 5E. So at noon it's the flattest response, and then you turn it up. You actually, it feels like you get more gain in this kind of upper mid-range end because it's hitting another tube gain stage, and that's what's going on in the pedal version as well. And then below noon, it darkens it up, and you get kind of the creamy, woody, warm sound. So that's the tone knob, and then on the volume knob, which functions as your gain knob on the pedal, but it's called volume on the pedal because that's what it's called on the Tweed Deluxe. So once again, my mantra when I designed this pedal was, can we go from Grant Green or Kenny Burrell, the jazz sounds? Because apparently the jazz guitar players used the Tweed Deluxe a lot in some of those recordings. I heard it was the house amp at Rudy Van Gelder's studio, and as you guys are aware, all the great jazz recordings are done there, and so that was the amp they had laying around, and it was a Tweed Deluxe apparently. But so I want to point out the behavior of the controls here. If you turn the volume, you just dime the volume all the way up, and you turn the tone up. The tone knob is not as powerful now. It doesn't seem to be doing as much. If I turn the volume down a little bit, and you hear it actually does more, right? So that is exactly how a Tweed Deluxe works. So that's showing you how we actually have replicated that. And it's not really a drawback, in my opinion, because you actually get a range of tones by turning the volume all the way up, that you get a subtle, more subtle behavior on the tone knob, and you get kind of some different colors. So just cranking it up like that's great, kind of another flavor of the Neil Young type thing. So it's pretty adjustable. I mean, it's basically, you know, all within the realm of that 5E3 sound, but, you know, you can really fine tune it. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and press that button now and go to high gain mode, and I won't change anything else so you can hear the difference. So what's going on when you press that button is that there's two JFET based gain stages which are mimicking the preamp tubes in the 5E3. So what happens to your guitar signal is it hits a preamp tube and goes into the volume tone stack. That circuit is sort of intertwined, so it's kind of one circuit, the volume tone control, which is why they interact so much. And then it hits another preamp tube, and then it goes out to the phase inverter and the power tubes and all this stuff. So what you got going on the pedal is that first tube replicated by JFETs and the volume tone stack, and the second tube replicated by JFETs. So what does the button do? When you're in green mode, it's like you're using lower gain tubes, like you're using the original 12AY7 preamp tube, and when you go to red mode, both of the tubes are higher gain. So we're not adding a booster stage or anything like that, you know, booster circuit to the pedal. Literally, the two virtual tubes with JFETs, the gain is just turned up on them. So that's red mode. So that's a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and turn things all the way up for you on the red mode just so you can hear what that sounds like. So even with the gain all the way up, you kind of pot down on the guitar. So you got a lot of control from your guitar still. And the lower gain sounds on red mode. So it's definitely a hotter version of what you find in green mode. So over here we have the presence and master. And presence, I'm leaving at noon because it's kind of a fine-tuning tool. You start at noon and then turn it up or down if you feel like you need a little bit more presence or less presence. And it's around 5K, so. So, depending on your guitar and your amp or the room you're in, you can kind of fine-tune that. But if you don't know what to do with it, set it at noon, and that's a good place to go. The master is just your output volume, and it's got a lot of output on tap. That's kind of where I'm going with that statement I made about turns your amp into a 100-watt tweed. This pedal has a lot of output, and even on the clean settings, you can get a lot of boost in the amp. So which you'll find, that'll be pretty handy too. So go back to red mode here, and the tweed thing is, it's really thick, yet it bites on top. It's got a great bite. It's got this harmonic thing. From studying the circuit, it's letting a lot of low end through the preamp section. So there's big coupling caps and big bypass caps, and the way the volume and tone stack work. So it's actually really cool because and I tried to voice the pedal so you get all that low end in either mode. It's always chunky and woody and big, but it won't flub out on you. So that was one of the things I was trying to do. Let's turn the gain up here. Got a little neck pickup thing. Let's just turn it to red mode. Back to bridge pickup. Chunky is the word, I think. So there you go. That's the Formula number 55, and I'm pretty happy with it, and I hope you get to try it and that you'll be happy with it too if it fits your tone needs. But let's finish off this little demo video today. Got some other pedals here. Got a Topanga spring reverb. I got the Germanium Karma Suture overdrive. And I got the Valcoder tremolo pedal. So it's kind of an old school rig. I got the old school amp here. And I don't know. I'm just going to see what happens when I press these buttons.